Okay, jumping on live here. We're going to see if Jessica Acosta is on, and we're going to add her in a couple of minutes here. Jessica, if you're on, send me that request real quick. Here she is. There we go. Good morning.
Hey!
How are you?
Good, and you?
Doing well, doing well. I'm it's a little early in the morning here still, so.
Oh no, here it's 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a foggy 6 a.m. in California, so.
It's rainy 3 p.m. here in Luxembourg.
Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of rain. It's been missing for a while here. You know, because you were here for a while, right?
Yeah, so I was there in summer for 3 months. And yeah, it's the best weather. It's California weather.
So tell us a little something about yourself and how you got involved in the fitness industry and the sport of bodybuilding for those that don't know who you are.
So my name is Jessica Acosta, for those who don't know me. I got into fitness, like I did gymnastics as a child, and yeah, somewhere between like my 20th or 21st, I started like doing fitness like everybody does, spinning classes, all that stuff. And then like 4 years ago, I started my fitness journey. So I started competing for my first show, which was here in Luxembourg. So it was really small competition. And it was just to see if I fit in that world or not. And yeah, I ended up placing first place.
Very good.
In my very first competition. So I fell in love with being on stage. I fell in love like with the process, like changing, the body changes, your mentality changes, everything changes. So yeah, and then I saw like the role models, like the pros, Ashley Kaltwasser, Courtney King, all that girls, and I was like, I want to be like them. I want to be on that stage. I want to win. I want to go to the O. Yeah, so and I set my goal. Getting that pro card was really a tough road. It's not easy because bikini girls, they are all so amazing, and everybody, like, it's so difficult for judges to judge because
yes, it is.
I wouldn't be able to do that because we are all gorgeous up there, everyone. So yeah, it was a long road, but I got it this year, finally. Woo!
So what does that mean? Like coming and doing it in Ireland. Tell us a little something about that, your experience at Muscle Contest Ireland.
So before Ireland, I did Arnold's. It was my first competition for the NPC and to like for the IFBB Pro League to qualify myself to be a pro. Yeah. So, and I got 2 finals, and then I was like, okay, no, this is really the federation. I need to continue. This is going to be amazing. A week later, I did a show in London, which I placed first in my category, and I got second for the overall and missed that pro card from 1 point. Yeah, but at the time, there was my sponsor, which told me, yeah, there is a contest from Ireland, you should try. It's from Muscle Contest, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So by that time, I was already planning my world travels, which finished right now. And I said, okay, let's go to Ireland and let's get that pro card. I got there, and it was an amazing venue. Like the atmosphere with the athletes and everything, like I felt in a good place. And that's what I think made me win, because I felt confident, and the show was amazing, the venue was amazing, the hotel was amazing, everything was like just on point for me. Yeah. And yeah, I won, which I was really, really like, I was expecting it, because
Yeah.
I felt the best conditioning ever. But that show was just the best show I ever did, and I turned pro. So every bikini girl out there, I recommend to go to a muscle contest, especially Ireland, because I got that pro card over there. So yeah, that was my experience. It was really nice, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed every single moment of that competition.
So for me, you know, I'm a big fan of the sport, of course, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be still involved after all these years.
Yeah.
When I went back to Ireland with Tamer, and we put on muscle contest, you know, Tamer and I were like, Jesus, you know, I would really love to be up on stage here. And that's me being stressed out of my mind as a promoter. But as an athlete, being there with competitors from 20 different countries, what did that feel like, you know, from check-ins? Like, I got a sense that there was like, almost like everybody knew each other almost, which I don't know if that's possible, but maybe social media makes it possible. Tell us a little bit about that.
Exactly. Like, as bikini competitor or whatever competitor you are always scrolling through your IG to see who is going to that competition. Do I have a chance to win?
Yeah.
So, and I remember I did my first competition in the NPC. For the Arnolds. And I did the same I did another competition in London, and there were like at least 5 bikini girls I met at the Arnolds.
Yeah.
And they were still remaining for the island. Like, we were all together in the same boat.
Yeah.
We did all the same shows, and that's how we met each other. And also, like, through Instagram, I knew who was going, because you can see it. Like, it's easy to follow who is going to which competition. Like, and yeah, at the registration, it was like, oh, I saw that girl at Arnold's. Oh, I saw that girl in London. Oh, we are still here. And yeah, we were just making fun of it, because we were the last standing, the last remaining for, the main goal to get the pro cards. And yeah, it's amazing. Like, you connect with so many people through all the competitions, and especially in Ireland, I felt like everybody was like so united. Like, we were all in the same boat. Even backstage, everybody was helping everybody. There was no like that competing. Like, it was really a family.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of how I remember my competitive days as well. You know, it was like there's competition there, and it's really only with 1 or 2 people. But then when you're backstage, you help each other out. You know, and that's what I thought was super cool, you know. And then, you know, one of our sponsors, Tan Masters, I don't think they really cared if you were getting tanned by them or not. If you were backstage and your tan needed a touch-up, they were there to help you, you know.
Yeah, I remember, like, Kimbodo. He was there, and there was nobody around to do my touch-ups because I messed up my tan. And he was like, come on, I'll do it by myself. And that's amazing. Like, he's the coach, and he was, I think, the runner of the tanning company.
That's right.
And so he was like himself helping me for the touch-ups, which I was like amazed, and I felt such in a good position. Like, it was really like a family. Like,
now,
did you know
who was before you went to Ireland? Did you know who Kim Odo was before you went to Ireland?
Yeah, sure. Like, he's the coach from the 2-time Mrs. Oh, the coach.
Yeah.
And I also remember being backstage, and he was like, "Okay, girl, you won your class. You could easily win that pro card. Just go out there and believe in yourself."
Yeah.
He knew it before I knew it, and that maybe gave me the little extra kick to come out and say, hey, that's me, and I'm the winner.
Yeah. And what I think is really cool is that a lot of competitors that competed in Ireland that didn't win their pro card have since won their pro card.
Yeah.
You know, like, the standard that was there, like, we literally could have picked any of the bikini girls, and they deserve to step on a pro stage. you know, it just happened that you were the one that shone brightest on that day. But, you know, I think there was another girl that competed, Tasha.
Yeah, she just won it. I'm so proud. Wow.
Yeah. And then in the bodybuilding, he goes by the Giant. He took like fourth place, I think, in the heavyweights, and then, you know, he just like kept going, kept improving, and then wound up taking his pro card at the Amateur Olympia. And I think there's a couple of other ones in there that, you know, from other parts of the world that I don't get to see as much, but you know, if you're on social media, you kind of can see everything if you check in at the right time. Otherwise, you can miss everything, right? So, but it was really cool. I thought when you came to California, then you got to get a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be a pro, not necessarily on the stage, but the other side of the professional life. Yeah. Tell us about that and being at the muscle contest events there.
Yeah, that was also a great experience. I personally didn't know there was a muscle contest. So a friend of mine, Carly, she won in the, what was it, figure, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, hey, I'm competing there. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, let's go. Because I love like seeing competitions and like people, like the athletes fighting for the first place. I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll help you out if you need to. And then I think you hit me up on IG.
Yeah.
And we just like were parking.
Yeah.
Right next to each other on the parking lot. And I was like, hey, what's up? And yeah, so my girl, Carly, she won her class. And I think she won also the overall. And yeah, then you asked me, hey, do you want to give the trophies to the bikini overall winner? And I was like, yeah, sure. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was like my first time as a pro giving the trophy to the winner of a class at a muscle contest again in California, my favorite place to be.
Yeah.
So that meant really a lot for me. And yeah, I feel like really connected to any type of muscle contest because of my win in Ireland, because of California, because I was able to step on stage in California and give the first place award to a bikini girl. So that really meant a lot to me. And I feel like there is a really great connection between me and muscle contest.
That's cool. Now, you know, it's Christmas week, and you know, people slow down, or what they call it here in the States, the holidays, because you know, a few different religious festivals. I come from Ireland, and you know, it's Christmas there, and that's kind of it. So if anyone gets offended by me calling it Christmas holidays, I apologize. But come next week, it's kind of balls to the wall for everybody, right? And that includes you, because you got your pro debut coming up in 2019, right?
Yes. And I already choose my date, and I'm going to ask for the contracts to sign and send it out so that it's on paper and that I stick to everything I want to do. So it's going to be for sure a muscle contest.
Yep.
Normally 30th of March. I think it's in San Diego. And I'm aiming for that show as the pro debut because it's California, because it's a muscle contest. And I think that's a lot of things that, that I want to do it like that because I feel that connection. So my pro debut is for sure going to be 30th of March in San Diego in a muscle contest.
That's awesome stuff. It's great to hear. I'm sure the fans are going to be only too delighted to see you. And you got a big fan base here in California anyway, so that's going to be cool too.
Yeah, it's starting to grow.
Now, it's funny that you picked the 30th of March because the very next weekend we will be flying back to Ireland for muscle contest 2.
Yeah, I would do my pro debut over there if there was
if we had bikini.
Yeah. But
who knows? Like, the show is growing really well. I'm sure you've noticed like a lot of talk about it, you know. I think this particular one, 2019, it's going to show Western Europe what we can do, you know.
Yeah, I already talked to a few bikini girls which competed with me
Yeah.
in Ireland this year, and they are aiming to go back there. So that means that it was really a good show.
Yeah, and I think, you know, looking back, and when you typically when you go to a contest, you know, you'll get a bunch of people that are disgruntled because they didn't play somewhere. And bodybuilding is not like any other sport. It's not like, you know, I went across the finish line first. I bench pressed more weight.
Yeah.
You know, I knocked you out. It's down to us as judges to kind of critique the physique and pick who we think meets that criteria.
Yeah.
The best, you know. And of course, everybody that's up there believes that they're the best. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow when a judge tells you when you're in the best shape of your life. And if I come to you and I say, hey, Jessica, you know, you need to improve this, this, and this, and you're like, holy crap, dude, you know, I've been working so hard on that particular, you know what I mean? And it can be very frustrating to hear and to not get the place you think you deserve. But what was really cool about Ireland was, out of the 200 athletes that were there, everybody was happy.
Yeah, right?
Everybody. You know, a couple of little things like, hey, you know, it would have been cool if you had a super heavyweight division. And yes, that's happening in April. There will be a super heavyweight division for the bodybuilders.
That's cool.
You know, it would be cool if we had a junior division. Junior division is going to be available in April, so the younger athletes can compete.
That's cool.
You know? So we're going to have juniors, novices, master classes, plus the pro qualifier, and then of course the Olympia qualifier in the 212, which is something else I wanted to ask you. Are you a fan of men's bodybuilding?
I am, totally.
So for you to win your pro card at a show that had an actual Olympia qualifier there, tell us something about how that added to your
I mean, for me, being from Europe, getting to Ireland was like, it's like easier than going to the States or going overseas. So if there is anybody out there living in Europe and wants to do a pro qualifying like show, I would suggest to go over there, because like it's quite easy to get there.
Yeah.
And people are, I don't know, it was different than any other show I did. I feel like there was more like the family stuff, the connection between athletes, between promoters and everything. Like everything was just rolling with the flow. Like it was really easy to get there, even though I had a few struggles to get back home. But yeah, it's a cool show because the location is amazing.
Yeah.
People are amazing. Promoters are amazing. Like I feel like if you want to go to the O and you want to qualify, Ireland is
the place.
For sure. I would go there for sure.
I'm glad to hear you say that. And then, you know, talking about how smooth the show went, what's really cool about the show in Ireland, one, it's in my hometown, right? So everybody that works the show are all family.
Yeah.
They're all athletes, so they know what it's like to be in that competitive mindset on the day, you know, and to put the athlete first, you know, and I'm talking everybody that worked the show, like from when you came to get your ticket to enter the show, the people at the cash desk, you know, former athletes.
Yeah.
You know, the t-shirts, the merchandise that was there was, you know, my sister-in-law, who was a national bodybuilding competitor. I think she placed second in her first national championships, you know. Then you went down and you had the security guys.
Yeah.
all national competitors. Then you go into the show, you know, the on-stage expeditor, Jeff, one of the top kickboxers in the world. Yeah. And then you go backstage, you know, you have my Uncle Sean, who was the first ever pro bodybuilder from Ireland that did the Masters Olympia. And then, you know, Kevin, the medic, played rugby for Ireland. You know, so
even the girl who did my hair, she used to compete back in the day.
That's right. Gail Fahey, who also will be doing the hair again this year, hair and makeup.
Yeah, she did a great job. So
in a partnership with she's partnering with 10 Masters this year to do hair and makeup, and she is a former national bodybuilding champion too.
Yeah, she told me while doing my hair, I was like, wow, everybody is involved in competitions over here.
And it's, you know, it really adds to the mood, because I'm sure when you sit down to get your hair done, you know, and yes, you're getting your hair done by a professional. Great, right? It's going to look amazing. But then when you find out that that hair professional is also a national champion competitor, it's got to add some, like, it adds a sense of comfort and to you, probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they know you're mentally placed, like how you are feeling and how you want everything to be on point. Because like from tanning through hair to makeup, like we girls, we want everything to be on point, because we don't want to how do you say that, like get less points because of your hair is not on point. So she knew exactly what judges are looking for, so that's amazing. Even like tanning, that Kimbodo was there to do the tanning, like he's involved in competitions. Jennifer Ronzini was there also. So everything was like involved into the fitness industry and to the competing industry. So everybody was willing to help 100%.
You know, besides having Tamer and myself there, coming from the States, we brought Sandy Williamson, who's the head judge for the Olympia. Right. And she head judged the show. So, you know, from the moment you get there to the moment you leave, it's, you know, we've kind of pulled out all the stuff to make it a destination for competitors. And, you know, the competitor is first, because Tamer and I are bringing what we wanted from competitions, right? And like how it's not that long since I stopped competing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it is. It feels like it is. It's 10 years.
That's not that long. That's okay.
So, but the passion is still there, and it'll always be there. And now is the time for us to kind of open those doors. So I think if you're coming from Europe and you want to come to Ireland, like you just said, how easy it is to get there. So, you know, tell us about your travel arrangements. Did you fly in from Luxembourg or?
Yeah. So I flew from Luxembourg to London. I had to stay one night because, well, I could have gone straight, but the rope would have been longer. And as a competitor, you always choose like the best schedule, timing, everything. So I choose to stay one night in London and then fly from London to Limerick, not through Dublin, but directly to Limerick. So this was kind of easy. And then I think it was a 40 minutes or not even drive from the airport to the venue. So, and I stayed at that same hotel the competition took place. So it was really, for me, it was good. Even though we had a little delay with the flight, everything was like on point.
It worked out. And that's the other thing too. So we did have some athletes that had flight issues, you know. They scheduled their flight to get in on Friday. The flight was pushed back a bit, which happens, right? And it happens all the time, depending on where you're flying from. So some of the athletes that, you know, they emailed or text or, you know, sent me a WhatsApp, which is, you know, if anyone's watching and they're competing, feel free to message us on here, because if you have an issue coming in, you know, let us know, because we can help resolve it. Like, don't lose your mind if your flight gets delayed. But do try plan ahead. If you can plan to get in, probably Thursday would be a good day to get in, I would imagine, right? As a competitor.
Yeah, a day before.
And that way you can, you can land, get into your hotel room, go do some cardio, get that water weight off from the flight, and be relaxed come check-in day and all that kind of stuff. So that you brought up a good point there with the airport being so close. I think it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it was super close.
Yeah, and then so you have that. The hotel. Did you stay at the host hotel?
Yeah, I did.
So your hotel room, you walk downstairs, you're in the venue.
Yeah, like I could constantly check out. Hey, let's go check out if we are on time or not. Because sometimes it happens. It's normal. Like schedule, like you can have a delay in the show. That's okay. Yeah. So being in the exact same hotel, like just 2 floors above the competition was just amazing because I could lay down. I could watch because you already also did a live stream on YouTube. So I was watching the live stream in my bed of the show I was competing in. So that was.
And so here's another little thing, and it's on the side. The guy that did the live stream is my childhood friend, Leon Costello. And that's what he does for a living. He is a videographer, and he typically does like weddings and all professional stuff like that. So I texted him, I said, hey, are you available on this weekend? And he's like, oh, I don't know, let me check. And he goes, why, what's up? I have a contest on, blah, blah. Didn't even bother checking his schedule. He goes, I will be there. So he was there, and he did the whole live feed. I heard it looked amazing. The live feed is going to get brought forward again this year. And I don't know if you heard any of the other interviews I've done in the last couple of weeks, but I did make an announcement last week about the check-ins and stuff on the Friday.
Okay.
We're going to have a press conference for the pros.
Oh.
So let's say you go as an amateur and you check in and you get, so for you as a bikini athlete, you would get your height checked. You get your number. You're all checked in now, right? And you're in class. What class are you in height-wise again? Was it B?
D?
How tall are you?
Yeah, I don't know in American, like it's 163, 164.
Oh, because you're like my height, right? Same height, like 5'5", 5'6".
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I'm 5'6.5". Well, let's keep that clear, right? That half is very important.
Yeah, it is.
So, let's say you get checked in as an amateur. We finish up, and then we're bringing the pros out. But we're bringing the pros out on stage.
Oh, that's amazing.
And we're going to weigh them in, check them in on stage, and we're going to do a little one-on-one chatting. Like I'll come, athletes, tell us a little something about your prep, Dave Henry, and getting here to Ireland and what it means, former Olympia, all this kind of stuff. And then we're going to open up the mic to the fans, and they'll be able to ask questions of the pros.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then after that, they'll be able to come and meet the pros, and if whoever the favorite pro bodybuilder is, and get pictures taken with them, buy some photographs or T-shirts, and support these athletes who they love seeing on the pro stages and in the Olympia. So that's something new we're adding, and I think it's
that's amazing. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we bring bikini to Ireland. This is something that you gotta look forward to. So I'll keep you posted on when we bring the professional bikini to Ireland, because I think the way the sport is growing, we're going to have a lot of professional bikini athletes in Europe.
Oh yes.
And so we need to open those doors to get you a chance to compete on European soil and qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah, that would be heaven on earth.
And I'm sure we will see you up there eventually. So for the show in April, with it being a week after your pro debut, you think you're going to be able to show a face there, or are you going to be off some other part of the world doing a photo shoot for?
Oh, well, I think that could be doable because, what date is it exact? 6th of April?
April 6th, yeah.
So, and my next show would be in São Paulo, which is by end of April. So I
Yeah.
could easily come back to Europe, say hi to my family, because I think I might fly out of Luxembourg early February.
Yeah.
To go to California and do my prep over there, like the rest of my prep, and then come back to Ireland to show up.
Yeah.
And maybe from Ireland to São Paulo. Could be.
That'd be very cool. Yeah, I think the fans would love seeing the reigning champion, I guess you'd still be until we crowned a new winner. So questions that you might have as a fan then. So where the venue is, right? It's the same hotel, the South Court Hotel in Limerick, April 6th. On the April 5th, we have the press conference with the pros and the amateur athlete check-in as well. How do we get to Ireland? Where do you fly into if you're coming from Europe, right? So Shannon Airport is where you flew into?
Was it Shannon?
Yeah.
Yes,
it's the one really close, right? So that's Shannon Airport's about 20 minutes from the venue. Now, I've had a few people asking about flying into Dublin or Cork. So if you fly into Cork, you're about an hour from the venue.
Now, I would suggest to do the way from Shannon, because like it's less stressful. And you can fly from London. I think it's Stansted. You can fly easily to Limerick. So even if somebody would have to change from Heathrow or from Gatwick to Stansted, that like it's really easy with the train or even Uber, taxi, whatever. So
it is,
and it's not that expensive. So it's the best for me as an athlete. I think it's the best.
Yeah.
Land in Shannon, and then 20 minutes you are at the hotel. And
you're ready to check in, do your stuff. And there's gyms all around, right? So one of the official gyms for the event is the Limerick Powerlifting Club. It's on the, it's a couple of miles away, maybe a 10-minute drive. It's owned and ran by Shane Brody, who's one of our judges. Shane also was a 20-time world champion powerlifter. So he runs that gym. And so that gym is available to the athletes to go and train and work out if they want. There's other gyms around town too that that you feel free, but the Limerick Powerlifting Club is where I will be training when I'm back home in Ireland. So
that's great.
I think it's always good to have a place as a hub for the people visiting of where they can train and feel that local vibe of our community, right? Because
that's also good to know for me, because if I come to Ireland, I need to stay on track with my training, so I'll go there.
And so that's important to know that. Then that there's a few other things there that you can see in the town if you want to set up, like if you have a significant other and they're like, oh my god, another contest. Limerick is a great city to visit. A lot of history there, castles that are almost 1,000 years old. The River Shannon flows right through the middle of town. Tons of bars and restaurants. I love my hometown. I love California. I think the same weekend there's a big rugby match on the Friday night. After check-ins, Munster playing the rugby at Thomond Park. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And then one of the announcements I made a couple of weeks ago was that Muscle Contest Ireland is expanding and becoming a multi-sport event.
Yeah, it is.
So we've signed on with a guy called Paul O'Brien, who's actually, believe it or not, a distant relative of mine. So he's his grandparents and my mother are first cousins.
Oh.
So it's but he actually happens to be an 8th Dan in kickboxing, 8th Dan black belt in kickboxing, and he is going to be running a tournament in association with Muscle Contest Ireland.
Oh, that's nice. That's something new. That's cool.
So what I think is really good is he really looks at the younger athletes. So it's going to expose these young kids to a multitude of avenues that they can pursue fitness. And that's really what, when you have a a passion for a sport. It's more than just being the competitor, right? Yes, we compete, but we also I'm sinking here because my seat is starting to sink, and maybe I put on too much weight this morning. There we go. And so and that's one of the goals with Muscle Contest Ireland and expanding into multi-sport event, is to open the avenues for different sports. Like, you don't just have to be a bodybuilder or bikini athlete. You know, there's martial arts, there's spin, there's step aerobics, there's hiking, there's so many different things.
Yeah.
Just get up, be active, and embrace life, right? And I think that's what you do, because I see on your Instagram and stuff that I think you've traveled the entire world.
I did.
Like, literally the entire world, right?
Yeah, I did every continent, like the entire world, everything.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Did you meet people on your travels that said, oh, you're Jessica DaCosta, the IFBB Bikini Pro? How?
Actually, yeah. I had, in Vietnam, believe it or not, like I ran into people, wow, you are Jessica, I know you. And also sometimes, like, I'm not that famous. There are many more famous bikini girls out there, because I'm new in the pro division. So for me, being like known by other people was kind of a new thing. So, and even like at Ghost Gym, there were some people, oh, are you Jessica DaCosta? You won Ireland, right? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then you're kind of happy, like, because all the effort you have put into that sport, all the effort you have put into every single day of your life for that pro status, like, it's unbelievable. I can't describe, like, it's amazing, because people know you and they look at you as a role model. Like, it's much more than just bodybuilding. It's a lifestyle, it's a passion, it's love. It comes from, like, from within. It's really
that inspiration that you give to others. How does that make you feel, that you now you're realizing, hey, I'm actually inspiring people from all over the world to get up and be active and be involved with fitness and change their lifestyle to live a fitness lifestyle? How does that make you feel?
Honestly, sometimes really overwhelming, because I come from that little country, Luxembourg, where everybody used to tell me, hey, you're from Luxembourg, I don't think you're ever going to make it to be a pro. Everybody was telling me that, families, friends, whoever. So, and coming from that little country, which not everybody knows that country, and finally being pro and having people from here telling me, hey, you are a really fighter, you did it, you showed people wrong, you are an inspiration, they are looking up to me, and they congrat me. Like, it's an overwhelming feeling, because having all those people telling me it's not possible, and then you make the impossible possible. Like, it makes you feel strong, really strong. It makes you feel like, yeah, I did it, and I'm proud of myself, because that's what you should be. When you reach this, that's what you should. That was not. So I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud to be able to show to other people that it is possible, and that you just have to fight everything you have to get there, and it is possible. You just have to stick to that goal.
Yeah, and you can, and that's, you know, I think you're a prime example. You know, that coming from a small country, this expansion of the IFBB Pro League and running our Grand Prix around the world and offering the opportunity for you to compete and all the other athletes to compete and win and earn the right to be in the league and go on and do the Olympia and stuff like that. That, like, you're living proof, right? That you can make your dream come true if you Set a
It's
goal.
just stick to that goal, and you believe in yourself, and you
work your
believe
plan,
that
right?
you're going to do it, and
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to do it. Like, you just have to fight. You just have to believe in yourself, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything is possible as long as you fight.
And that's the advice you would give to anybody that wants to compete on April 6th in Limerick, Ireland, that's looking for that pro card, is believe in themselves.
Believe in themselves. Like, we have Tasha, which is one of the best examples I personally know. We did almost every show together, and she was always like placing first or second or missing the pro card from 1 point, like I did in London.
Yeah.
And she did it recently because she never gave up. She was constantly working on herself. She was constantly like seeking for feedback of the judges. What can I change? She has evolved. Like, she has evolved, and she does it with passion. And that's all you need. Do it with passion, evolve. Even if you're getting bad feedback, like I did from the Arnolds, okay, that's what I need to change. So let's change it. Like, that's the kind of mindset
But then
you have.
essentially it's not really bad feedback because you turned it into positive because you worked on that, right?
Yeah, right.
And
so
what
every show.
Let me get this. So you listened to what the judges told you. You went back home and you trained and you worked on that.
Yeah.
And then you wound up becoming a pro.
Yeah, that's what I did. After every show, what I always did was getting feedback. Even now, it was, what was the competition? Like, it was in Long Beach. There was
oh, the Legions. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there because friends of me, they run like a brand in California, a clothing brand.
Yeah.
And I was there, and me as a pro, I was at a seminar from Sandy, the head judge. And I went to her and I was like, hey, as a pro, what would you change? What would you like to see on me to be at the top with the top of the top bikini girls? And she said, like, do you have pictures of yourself? Because, I'm off season. I'm more round. I showed her, and she said, okay, if you could change just this and that and this and that, you'll be able to place first in your pro show. That's not a big deal. So even if I won, and even if I know I was in the best shape of my life, I was still seeking for the perfection. And I asked, what can I change? What would you change?
And that's how we learn. Like with bodybuilding, you know, seek advice from those that know. And you can't get much better than Sandy Williamson, right? If she's telling you something, it's coming from in here, right? She knows the sport inside out, and she will always point you, and she loves it, and she will point you in the right direction every time. So those that are coming to Ireland, fly into Shannon.
Yeah.
Literally any airport you can fly into in Ireland because it's so small. You can drive, but Shannon is ideal. Yeah. And then the South Court Hotel, there is a discount code on there for them. You know, just mention Muscle Contest, and they get a discount on the rooms. Did that happen for you last year as well?
No, because I didn't know. I was it was 4 weeks before, I think, in London, when someone told me, hey, there is a muscle contest in Ireland, just show up and try it. I was like, okay, I need to book. So I just booked all by myself, but that's a cool deal. So
so they get a discount on the room. Then I'll publish a list later of other hotels that we're going to partner with that are within the city. Limerick is not a massive city. I think it's like 6 miles by 7 miles or something like that. So you can get around it pretty easy. Yeah. You know, there's going to be a lot happening. We got some more sponsors this year. You did your photo shoot with Flex and Muscle and Fitness. How was that? Yeah,
like I think it was 2 weeks after the show.
Yeah.
So I went to I flew to Dublin and I did that shooting. It was still an overwhelming feeling because I won my pro card 2 weeks before, and I was shooting for a magazine, and I was like, what is going on? What is this? This is unreal.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like yesterday, I do YouTube videos. So and that day when I won my pro card, my boyfriend, he's a videographer too, so he edited all that stuff together, and I was watching it, and every single time I watched that video, I just start crying because it's unreal, that
Yeah.
feeling of being on stage and you're finally getting rewarded.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. But the the shooting, that was also like an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just can't believe, hey, you had a shooting for Flax magazine in Dublin. It's kind of the same feeling than winning the show.
Yeah,
it's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, you know, when I did that, and it was, I still, you know, one of the best moments of my bodybuilding career was that, and so I've been where you were, right, and it is a cool feeling. So that's something that's going to happen again in 2019. You know, all the overall winners are going to get their shoots with Flex, Muscle and Fitness. We have the Beef magazine jumped on board with us too as one of the sponsors, and I'm sure you've seen some of the posts with them. The rest of it then is, you know, the Epoxy Derm are sponsoring, Doreen Yates Nutrition is sponsoring. You know, and as we get closer to the show, I'll start releasing some of the other sponsors that are jumping on board with us, which I think is really cool. If there's anyone out there, there's a couple of sponsorship opportunities that are still available. So you know, hit us up, and we will gladly partner with you guys to open more doors for these athletes, right? So the more sponsors that join forces, the more doors and opportunities we have for the competitors, which I think that's the most important thing, is making sure that the athletes are taken care of. I think April 6th is going to be even better than what you experienced in 2018. And you know, what you say was great. So we're going to try and add to that, and we'll constantly try and improve, right? And we'll listen to everybody. So if you have a final thought for people that are coming, are planning, or even thinking about competing in April.
So the only thing I think, which is very important for competitors, after the show, there is a lot of food around. Don't worry. Irish, they have super good food, and there is also like a super cool store 5 minutes walking away from the South Court Hotel. They have donuts, they have everything you need, so don't worry about food.
Yeah,
everything is on point.
Yeah, I think that is a really good point, that there is a store literally across the street from the hotel. There's 2 restaurants within the hotel.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're opening later for us actually this year. They're going to open a couple of hours late for the athletes that are
that's good.
Later. So we got Team Lloyd in the UK is asking any meal prep companies you can recommend. Send us a PM, and we'll see what we can do on that one. Unless you know somebody, Jessica, in Europe that or in the UK.
In the UK, no, I don't. I just know here in Germany and in Luxembourg, but I don't think overseas.
Well, Team Lloyd there, we will touch base on a PM there with us, and we'll see what we can do to set you up. That's pretty much it. I want to thank you for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon to chat with us, talk about your experience. And
thank you for having me. And yeah, I hope to see you all very soon. And then I wish you all Merry Christmas to the old Muscle and Contact team, and Happy New Year. And we'll see us in March.
All right, we'll see you then. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.